Live. There we go. Live. What is up, everyone? How y'all doing? Thank you all so very much for being here. This time, I'm joined by my co-host over on the Lakers show, Jake. What is going on, Jake? How are you?
What's up? How you doing, man?
Wonderful, wonderful. Just so everybody knows, everybody that's here. Well, first off, let's do the proper introduction. Everyone that's coming in at this time, thanks so much. We really do appreciate it. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 10K here on this channel. I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. But for those that don't know, I have another channel with Jake here. Me and him have a channel together called AIS The Lakers Show, as it stands, The Lakers Show. And usually we do our live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But the Laker game was at a specific time. Jake's going to get a clip over on that channel. And then we decided to do it here, maybe do some promotion for that channel as well. So go subscribe over there. I even have a link in the description of this video. If you're not subscribed to that channel, subscribe to that channel. We, again, do live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, always. And then Jake posts clips daily. But real quick, before we get into the chat and all that stuff and do our usual stream, what'd you think of the game, Jake?
It was good. It was good. Much kind of like how we talked about on the other stream. I think this needs to be kind of how, like, except for Russ, that was kind of weird. It was a weird scoring output from Russ, but he did a lot of things that didn't really show up on the stat sheet. No. But I think AD needs to continue doing what he's doing. But like, just AD just being aggressive. Honestly, this is AD's team in my eyes now. I don't really like to transfer ownership, you know what I mean? Because it's everybody's team, it's a collective effort, it's a team sport. But I will say, when it comes to the dominant player on this team, I feel like it needs to be AD now. I feel like LeBron's there for support, but I feel like it needs to be AD. I feel like he's back, and I feel like he's ready. I don't know if he keeps playing like this. I have him in my MVP race. What about you?
Yeah, he's got to be MVP. The way he's playing, if he can continue to play this, especially if the Lakers can get into the playoffs and stuff, you almost have to give it to him. I think at worst case, he wins Defensive Player of the Year. Because the problem is that the Lakers are a play-in team. I think it'd be hard to justify him getting the MVP. I mean,
Yeah,
not that it's never happened before, but it's just usually it goes to one of the play-in playoff teams. So I think the only
yeah,
way I can really see him getting MVP is if we get to the playoffs. If we get into the playoffs, then I can see him getting MVP. But if we're a play-in team, I can see that not going that way. But I think they at the very least, he gets Defensive Player of the Year because he has just been just locked down defensively. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, outside of that, yeah, I mean this had its good moments, it had its bad moments. If we play like we did in the first half, I'll take this team over any team in the league. Seriously, I mean we were playing great defensively. Davis was a monster. LeBron was actually playing within the flow of the team. He wasn't, playing.
Right? It was
He was actually,
refreshing to see, except
yeah.
for a few bad shots. There. I don't want to nitpick, but there was a few. But he still had like a few like weird shots. But no, you're right though, 100%.
Yeah, for the most part, he was in it. He looked rejuvenized, right? Like he
Yeah,
looked like a guy that just got 2 weeks rest. He came
yeah,
out and he was playing defense, locking up. He was doing a lot of things, and I really liked that. And hopefully he can continue that. Guys were hitting shots early on, which was also good. Troy Brown picked back up, got his 8 to 10. He's back into
yes,
in it. He was 2 of 2 from three. Like that guy outside of the last two games, every single game he's given us 8 to 10 points. It's been
yeah,
amazing,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he's been a model of consistency. Walker came in with his 18, like he has. He was 4 of 9 from three, so shot 44%. Kendrick Nunn, he a little rough. He was 1 for
yeah,
5 from three, 3 of 9 overall. But he still, chimed in with 9 points, which was good. And
yeah.
he was shooting the ball well early on when we needed him. Him towards the back end was a little rough. Winning Gabriel was all over the place again. I would have liked to see him get played a little more. There was no Thomas Bryant tonight, which I'm sure that they wanted to rest him. I wouldn't. I'm worried that the Lakers are going to rest LeBron and AD tomorrow. That's like a
You
real
you
concern of
think
mine.
so?
At least Anthony Davis. Um, I hope they don't,
You think
but
that's a bad thing?
do I think what? I'm sorry.
You think that's a bad thing?
Yes, because we can't afford to lose games against teams that we that we
But
need,
that's
and
that's
I
the
would
thing. Against the Spurs team, I don't think we lose. Truthfully,
without Anthony Davis, we might.
it's a possibility, but like,
Like,
man, like I think like we by now we should have like we just have the Spurs number. Like, and I get it, they're trying to tank this year and stuff too, but like, yeah, this is like I don't see us losing a game to this team
yeah,
with AD. That'll be rough.
yeah.
Sorry without AD, it's gonna be a dogfight, but I think it can get done.
Well, another thing LeBron's got to do, he's right. He was right back to the turnovers. Like that's the biggest thing
Hmm.
issue that I've had all season. He's been a turnover machine, and tonight was no different. He had 9 turnovers. He almost had a quadruple double. He had more turnovers than he did assists.
Yeah,
Like he's got to control the ball better. I understand it's first game back, a little rough, but still it's he's got to do a better job of protecting the ball. But all in all, it was a solid game. I was happy
yeah.
with this win. I was happy with this contribution. But yeah, let's dive into the chat a little bit. What's going on, Snorlax? Appreciate you early. We are 6-11.
What's up,
AD continues to
Snorlax?
dominate. Love to see it. I do too. This was great. AD again, monster performance. He was 10 of 13 from the floor. That's just insane. 15 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, 25 points, 3 blocks, and a steal, 4 assists as well. So, I mean, he just continues to just play that dominance. LeBron, selfish play, lackadaisical out there. He wasn't in the first half. He was really good in the first half. I really liked what I saw in the first half from him. He was getting after guys, but he's got to like I said, so up those turnovers. 4-1 in our last 5 games. I'll live with that, man. Likewise, and we have the opportunity to go 6-1 with the games against the Spurs and the Pacers. At which point we'll be 8-11. Got to take advantage of that. I agree. We got to win the next 2 games. Get us to 8-11, and then we got a really tougher road ahead. But I think we could get to 500, and by the end of December, I think we'll be around 500.
We get
Hopefully
to
by
8
the
and
5th.
11. I'm feeling good. Like I'm
Yeah,
feeling really
especially
good.
with the
8 and
way that the
11.
season started. Yeah,
Oh yeah. What did we start out? 0-5? I
yeah,
believe 0-5.
yeah. Before we got our first win, I believe. Yeah, I think we were 0
I'm
5
sorry.
before.
We get to 8 and 11, and I'm yelling come back every stream.
Yeah. So
As long as we continue that play, yeah.
hopefully we keep packing it in. So right now, since going 0-5, right now we're at 500, right? Because we're 6-6 over our last 12 games after going 0-5. So hopefully we can kind of tread that and then maybe get a deal done come the December 15th.
Yeah.
Ham rotation. Bryant. Ham needs to tell LeBron to get the ball to AD. He was trying. A lot of his turnovers were trying to force the ball to AD. He just, I don't know if he just doesn't have chemistry with AD right now or what, but he struggles trying to get the ball to AD. But Bryant didn't play tonight. He said he had the game off. I imagine he plays tomorrow, which is why I'm concerned that AD might not play tomorrow. But right, AD played incredible, and that was without LeBron feeding him a lot. Imagine what he could do with his first option. Don't really need to imagine because we've seen it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. AD is the bus driver, as Charles Barkley likes to say. Give LeBron his free throws. These refs are blind. That's always been LeBron, right? I mean, it's like the Shaq rule where I can't remember what ref it was, but I remember a long time ago. This was like right when Shaq got out of the league or whatever, and it was like one of the retired refs, one of the famous ones, and they were asking about it, and he was like, if we refed Shaq appropriately, he would have done nothing but shot free throws because he's like every possession he got fouled, and he's like at some points during the games you have to, just because he's so big, so dominant, at some points you have to kind of look away. Otherwise, the entire game would just be Shaq at the free throw line. And I was like, that's fair. That's kind of how I look at it with LeBron.
That makes sense. And you can see over to the course of his career, it started to he was getting a lot of fouls, almost every single time. then
Yeah.
you start looking at the refs like why all of a sudden like aren't you guys calling this? And I feel like that's why because
I
the
think he
league
cries too
probably.
much. They're probably sick
You
of
know,
it.
no, me too. I agree. For his size, I'm like, dude, come on, next play, next play, next play. But like, really, I feel like the refs like had like their annual NBA meeting and like, look, we need to tighten up on some of these things, and that's when LeBron was like, oh.
Yeah.
But
We
that
got
one today though, where AD got sorry that when AD got the putback, that was a little that
oh yeah,
call. Yeah,
I
that
love
was
it.
a little ridiculous.
We got the
That's just
W, but man, our offense is so stagnant and slow. We have no offensive threats outside of Braun and AD. They were able to double the whole game. I mean, guys stepped up. We had Walker. Walker had a good game. He chimed in with 18. We had what? We had 4 guys in double figures and another 3 guys that were just like a point, a bucket away. Schroeder had a nice game tonight.
yeah, he
Uh,
did. You know what? Yeah, he did, and I owe him some slack for the last time for the last game. Good job,
Yeah,
Shooter.
it's
Good
gonna
job.
take him time to kind of get in a rhythm. Take time for him to kind of get back
Yeah,
in the flow of things. You know what I mean? Like he just came off of finger surgery. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So like, and he's a point guard. But I mean, Lonnie Walker. You know, again, he had 18 points. Guys were hitting threes. You know, or at least early on. The first half was better than the second half. We definitely, I've always said, we definitely need a move. We definitely need like another like threat out there, preferably 2. But you know, again, if we play like we did in the first half for entire games, I think we could be a very good basketball team. I don't know
yeah,
what it is about the third quarter. I just want to like skip third quarters. Like if I could
yeah.
just like if I could have one wish, like if a genie came out of a lamp and was like, "You get 3 wishes," I'd be like, "I don't need all 3. I just need one." Can the Lakers just never play a third quarter? And we'd probably be undefeated this year. But man, uh, what's up? I know you like that LeBron played in the flow of the offense for the most part of the game. I did, I absolutely did. You know, and I hope he continues to play that way. You know, because I mean that was the thing. He showed tonight that he can play within the flow of the offense and still go get 20. And,
Yeah,
and that's what I've always said. You know, LeBron, he's so good, so skilled, so talented, so intelligent. He can get 20 in his sleep, right? Like he doesn't
yeah,
have to do much. Like he can go score whenever he wants. So play within the flow of the game, especially when you're winning. Like I understand, you know, if things aren't going well and you know we're just terrible or we're starting to get blown out. Okay, you know, you're trying to get yourself going. Maybe you knock down a couple threes or something like that. And now that kind of like, you know, gets you back into the game and you know everyone kind of picks it up. I can understand that, but you know, he was doing that just to do it, whether we were
yeah,
winning or losing games. You know, when we're winning games, we're sharing the ball, we're moving the ball, things like that. You know, we had like 17 assists at one point on like 9 shots. Again, we had 28 assists. That's beautiful. Like
yeah.
that's where we need to be. We need to be in the 28 to 30 range, night in and night out. And we can,
Our three-point percentage has been great over the last like these last like stretch of games. Like
well,
they
not
have
last
been
game, but yeah, but for the most
well,
part, it's
yeah,
improved.
but yeah, it definitely has improved. I think we almost did we get out rebound? Actually, no, we got out rebounded tonight. Yeah, well, by 1, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we got to it's just consistency. We've seen enough at this point. LeBron and Russ can't coexist on the offense together. They hurt each other so much. A trade has to come, buddy, and balling right now. We need to get them. Who's to say we can still get them though? You know, we haven't heard any rumblings. You know, maybe the Lakers had their chance and they didn't, and it didn't happen.
that's
You
true.
know, who knows? You know, who's to say that they're still willing to trade it? Maybe they're willing to keep them.
That deal may
Any
be off the table for sure, for sure.
Yeah, it's not another possibility. Defense player of the year. Yeah, I would love to see AD get defense player of the year, and he definitely deserves it. Definitely deserves it. Um, AD looked good. He's still aggressive, even though LeBron came back. Yes, which is what we need. Which is what we need him to continue to do. He's got to continue to play that aggressive brand of basketball, um, and just be the guy. And LeBron needs to allow him to be the guy.
Yeah,
Um, we need to trade Russ for offense pieces. We can't have $50 million salary being used for 3 points, 20 minutes play. I mean, again, we gotta see what's out there. I mean, I would love to do a deal, but you also got to keep in mind it's not just so much about the points that Russ
Yeah.
is scoring. You know, he only took 7 shots. It's everything. It's his impact. It's everything he does as a whole. You know, he's our assist leader. He's the guy that's setting guys up. He is like, I trust him with the ball right now more than I trust LeBron James with the ball. Russ is the
No,
one that's making.
absolutely.
Russ is the one that's making the
Absolutely.
right decisions. Russ is the one that's making the winning plays. Russ is the one that's doing that stuff. You know, I don't care if he had 3 points. I care about what was his impact as a whole. You can't just look at the box score and go, you know, oh, you know, Russell Westbrook was terrible tonight. Like he wasn't. He was
Well, that's what I
very
said. He did a lot of stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet tonight. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, no. Like I said, he did what he was supposed to do, and I do agree with you. LeBron hasn't been doing his job as the point guard of this team. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like, I don't know.
9
I don't know.
turnovers.
I don't think we should go. We should run the narrative as LeBron has to or needs to play point guard for this team. Honestly, I would like to see Reeves play point guard, even though it's weird. But you know, I heard it and I was like, I kind of want to run with it. You know, but Reeves or like I said, I think Westbrook is like I said, his vision, Westbrook's vision. Like if you really look at like Westbrook, like he gets passes in lanes that like are nearly impossible. It's crazy. If you like really look at him like play and the way he like sees things and picks the defense apart, yeah, it's beautiful.
LeBron is rusty as expected. I'm not worried. I want more ball movement from him though. Still, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I'm not trying to knock him too much, but you know, 9 turnovers. LeBron's smarter than that. I understand he's rusty. I mean, he still had a solid game. Don't get me wrong. I'm like he had a really good game, but 9 turnovers. I mean, LeBron's been in the league long enough to know
Well, this is the
Russ.
guy that we're deeming the goat, the greatest of all time. And I'm sorry, if
Yeah,
you're the greatest of all time, 9
got to
turnovers.
protect
I
the
don't know if
ball.
you. Yeah, we're not making excuses for you. I'm sorry, like I
Troy Brown
can't.
had your 10 points tonight. That is right. I'm telling you, that guy is a model of consistency. Look, he had a 2-game stretch where he didn't, but like, go look at his stats this season. Like, every game that he's played, it's like 8 to 10 points every single game. That dude is a model of consistency. Seriously, like, you want to talk about like just a consistent player that night in and night out. You know, usually a guy has like a 10-point average because he'll have a game where he'll have like 3, and then another game where he like, you know, has like 20, and like at the end of it all, at the end of the season, he
It
just
just balances
averages
out.
like 10 points. That is not Troy Brown. Like, literally every single night, the dude is like 8 to 10 points. Like, he's just so consistent. I love it. I love it. I need to like make a chart or something and just track that. 11 a.m. here in the Philippines. What's up, Anthony? Shout out to the Philippines.
What's
A
up,
watch party with the
Anthony?
family. Drinking, eating. We do not like LeBron, dude. He was good tonight. I did. I liked what I saw from him tonight. I got to be honest. But real quick, because the reason you see a guest on this channel tonight, Jake, is because me and him have a channel together called AIS The Laker Show. We usually do live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m.
Yes,
The Laker game
sir.
was kind of awkward. I still wanted to be able to do the post game stream here. And so we decided to do a stream here and promote the other channel. So go subscribe to AIS The Laker Show. I even put a link in the description to make it super easy for everybody. So if you're not subscribed, I know a lot of you are, but if you're not subscribed over there, go subscribe over there. We're trying to grow that channel as well. And then, of course, subscribe here. We are trying to reach 10K here on As It Stands Lakers. And then, again, go subscribe over to the Laker Show. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to 3K over on that channel,
Absolutely.
which we're almost there. We're almost there. We're like 200 away, which I believe we can hit. We still got like a month and a half, or a month and like 10 days, 40 days, whatever. So go subscribe over there.
3K. Let's hit it.
We're almost there. Yes, the big 10-point game for Troy Brown, the most consistent player of all time. Seriously, that dude is a model of consistency. I will keep preaching that. Jake, is that a spider on your shoulder?
I hope not. I don't know if there's a
Just-
reference.
No,
I
I
was
think
like,
it's I think it's the green screen. It's I think it's just
oh,
it makes
okay.
it look
Okay, I was like,
it makes it look like there's a spider there. LeBron should
gotcha,
sit out
gotcha.
tomorrow night. I actually think LeBron will play. I think they might sit AD tomorrow night, which kind of worries me. Spurs double teaming every time LeBron and AD touch the ball. We look desperate for buckets at some point. Need to flip Russ picks for pure scores. I mean, if there's a trade out there, I mean, like I said, Russ had impact in lots of ways tonight. It's not so much about scoring. Every team's going to double team LeBron and AD. Guys just got to hit shots. It's not even just Russ. Everybody has to hit shots.
I know we're not. I know the narrative is not back on Russ just because this is what the first game he scored under like 8 to 10 points and win. You know what I mean? Like
It's fine.
I can't. Oh, man, Russ has it rough. I'm not gonna
Look,
lie.
he took.
Like,
I mean, the dude only took 7 shots. I mean, yeah, he was 1 to 7. That sucks.
leave that man alone.
But I mean, still, he took, like I said, he took 7 shots. He wasn't shooting the ball a bunch, and he played 19 minutes. And in 19 minutes, he still got 4 rebounds, 7 assists, a block, 3 turnovers. It's not terrible. I would have liked, maybe 1 less, but hey, everyone could have protected the ball better. Anyone see Reeves do his LeBron James impression rebound? Go the length of the court, out in the hole, and starting lineup. I did like the starting lineup. Dennis Schroeder really stepped up in the starting lineup. I wouldn't mind this starting lineup going forward.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I even made a video diving into it, and I was even talking about Schroeder starting, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to have Schroeder and Russ come off the bench, because they're very similar players in a lot of ways. They're both, just kind of those slashing guards, the ones that just penetrate. And we saw it with Schroeder tonight. He was getting into the paint, attacking, using that baseline, and was able to, dish it out, get some nice assists, and just, draw the defenses and stuff like that. But in general, I didn't mind Schroeder. I thought he brought some intensity. I thought he brought some defense. He did a lot of the things that people want Pat Bev from. But he is an offensive threat as opposed to Pat Bev, who is the worst offensive player in the league right now. And so, and I just think, having Schroeder, that Rush and Schroeder alternations, I think would be really good going forward. And again, if Schroeder can continue to play this way and continue to be productive, that makes Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn expendable. If you do end up having to trade Russ, then, at least you have Dennis Schroeder that kind of provides a lot of the same things and kind of get comfortable and get in the flow of things. Not just that, but last time, and I've said this before, last time that they all played together, Dennis Schroeder, LeBron, and Anthony Davis were a plus 15, which is insane. It was one of the best, if not the best. I don't really remember off the top of my head, but one of the best for sure. 3-man lineups in the entire league last time they played. So that was really good. Schroeder was really good until he got COVID. And then when he got COVID, it looked like it really affected him. That's when he had the drop in production towards the second half of the season. But if he can kind of find that rhythm with those guys again, especially in the starting lineup, I think he could have a really huge impact. Really huge impact.
No, I agree with the Schroeder part. Only reason I was like, wait, what? Because of the Troy Brown part. That's the only thing in the starting lineup. I mean, I think I would rather see Reeves. I guess you could swap him out, but at this point, I think Reeves has kind of proven he kind of deserves that.
I think they want Reeves. I think my thinking. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but my thinking is, having Reeves and Russ makes a lot more sense than Russ and Schroeder, coming off the bench. And not just that, but that gives one, another playmaker, and two, your best 3-point shooter next to Russ. So, so you got that driving kick, you got that, not just that, but we saw Reeves running with the starters. We saw Reeves running with, Reeves is kind of our interchangeable guy, is kind of my thinking. So,
so you're more looking at it as in terms of who can help our bench, if you will, like our second lineup. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. At least that's kind of my my thought process about it. Hang on. Sorry, bro. There we go. I've been a fan of Russ since what happened? Why am I that pulling it? There we go. I've been a fan of Russ since the 6-man rule, but today he was horrendous, 1 of 7, and just running up the clock every play. Like I said, I mean, he had a terrible shooting night, terrible score night, but he was very impactful, very effective. Took care of the ball.
One of the only ones he's had. I mean, he's had a few rough nights, but he hasn't had many nights like this year. I think that as far as the shooting wise, I mean, this was it was different, but
they're also not caught last game and this game. There was at least 3 or 4 occasions where Russ drove to the basket and just got hacked, and they're not calling that.
Oh, that irritates me. That
It
irritates
does.
my
It happened last game
soul.
too. There was literally like three, and we were even talking about it here in the live stream that there was like literally like 3 or 4 possessions where he
And they're
like, I
obvious
mean,
fouls though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're
I
not
mean,
like
yeah, I mean, he
like
got hacked, and they still ended up
yeah.
calling it. Like, it wasn't even like a, and so that's the problem too. He's got to just fight through that. Not just that, but I think another thing too is Russ is not Russ has been so good as a playmaker and getting those
Yeah.
assists. He's being aggressive still, but he's not looking to score. He's looking to pass. And he gets caught. Like you can even see it in this game. There's a couple times where he gets caught in the air and there's no one to pass the ball to. So he kind of just chucks it up and he ends up taking a bad shot where he needs to be aggressive. He needs to learn to balance out the playmaking and the scoring. If he can put those two together, he'll be great. I mean, you're
So you're
talking
saying
like,
he's a pass for he's become a pass first point guard
yeah,
now.
he's playing for the pass. Like, and so like not this game, but it might have been last game or 2 games
Don't
ago.
you think it changed the well? Who's on the court though? Too that matters. That matters. Like,
Well, because he's doing such a good job with the rolling bigs and the him and the bigs are running that pick and roll so well. Every
yeah,
time on that pick and roll, he's looking for the pass rather than just getting like being aggressive and letting the defense make the decision for you. So
well,
what's
because you
happening?
win regardless. Because oftentimes he does draw that foul. So it's either he draws the
Yeah,
foul
but
or he passes it off
got to
to the
be.
big. You know what I
But
mean?
if
Either
I
way.
know, but if I know you're looking for the pass, I'm not going to come and challenge you. And
That's true.
that's what keeps happening. And even one of the commentators, not this game, but might have been last game or 2 games ago, but even one of the commentators talked about it, how Russ, like there was like 3 straight possessions where Russ had an easy layup. 2 of them he dumped it off and got the alley oop, but one
Yeah.
of them he just missed the layup. And even the commentator was like, Russ needs to look to score rather than just pass. Like he keeps, and I was like, exactly, my point exactly, because that's what he keeps doing. He attacks and then goes to the basket, but he's looking for the dump off. And teams know, oh, he's looking to pass. So they just sag off of him. And now he's in this awkward position where it's like, oh, shoot, I need to score. But he's already in the air. He's already made up his mind.
Which is
Where if
weird because he's a great finisher. He knows how to finish. Like,
he is, but it's hard if I have in my mind, I'm going to score every possession you're attacking, you're going to try to score, right? But if you
yeah,
have in your mind every possession, I'm going to pass the ball and get a dump off. When you make that play and you make that possession, your mind is on the pass. So when you get stuck in a position where it's like, now you have to take a bad shot. He is a great scorer. He could score
yeah,
whatever he wants. He's so fast. I mean, the Spurs tried to double team him at one point, and he just literally blew past, like before the guys could meet him there. He was already past them. Like
yeah.
he's so skilled. He could get his buckets whenever he wants, but he's evolved into this playmaker, which is great. Problem is he doesn't know how to balance it out because he went from being a scorer for
Yeah.
the most part his entire career, and now he's kind of fallen into just this playmaker role. And he's playing the playmaker role great. But the reason you get those 1-in-7 games or you get him having poor scoring nights is because he's playing for the pass rather than playing to score. And he
Yeah.
needs to find that balance. As soon as he finds that balance, I believe he'll be a monster for the Lakers. I think
And
that's when you start seeing 20 and 20, 10 and 8 games, like
yeah.
regular. Like I think that's when he's just got to figure that balance out, which I believe he will. I trust him. I trust he will. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
figured
yeah.
everything else out. So yeah,
And which is weird because with him, it's like, okay, most of the time if you leave your feet, you should look to score. If you're like leaping to the basket, like that, you should be attacking the basket, not looking to pass. Like leaving your feet for a pass is weird, but he gets away with this so much.
yeah,
He gets away with it. Like he's one of the only players that can do that.
yeah. What NFL team should I root for, man? I don't know. I don't. I love football, but I actually don't have a favorite NFL team. So I'm probably the wrong person. Jake, do you have a favorite NFL team?
I do, but I don't. We don't really talk about it. It's the Chargers, and yeah, I mean, hey, don't laugh at me, but it's just there.
Oh,
I am. I'm from Cali, so I
there
gotta
you
root
go.
for the
Root for the Chargers. Well, my
San
problem is because I'm from
Diego.
Cali too, and living in Vegas, the Raiders, people are always yeah, like I'll root for the Raiders,
What?
if they're not playing anybody, but they're terrible. But I grew up in I've said this before on As It Stands. Um, I I've like I grew up in a household with like 9 people, and
Yeah.
everybody was a different NFL, like had a different team that they liked. So I just grew up loving football, but never really got like invested in like specific teams. More so players, and I think that's why I'm a good like NFL sports better. Like I think that's why I usually do really good betting NFL because I have no biases. I don't care. I just like whoever my money's on that night. Um, but
See, you're lucky though. That wasn't allowed in my house. You had one team. Everybody had to root for the same team.
this is your team, damn it. Campbell coming in out with the super chat. Thank you so much. 9
Thank
turnovers were
you.
great, but at least you could see LeBron was trying to keep the offense flowing through AD and aggressive, and we need to be. Yeah, no, I have no problems with the way LeBron played today for the most part. I mean, he had bad moments. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's got to do a better job protecting the ball. He's better than that. If he was somebody else, I probably would have let it slide. But this is LeBron James we're talking about.
And see, and that's why I can't rest or no rest, injury or no injury. I mean, I don't think the injury would affect that, but again, that's an IQ decision, and that's not even an injury. That has nothing to do with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just him trying to force the ball, which
Yeah.
I understand. He's trying to get AD the ball. He's trying to do that, but he was much better in the flow of the offense, which I really liked. I really liked that he kept. He was the ball didn't stick with him too much. He played within the scope, which is what you want, to see. But yeah, again, Campbell, thank you so
He
much.
just wasn't forcing it. Was it like in Cleveland? He did that a lot. You saw like the entire offense had to go like literally like fold to his like command. But in like now, I just think we're to the days now where he needs to fit in like a puzzle piece versus the team fit into him.
Agreed. But we have players shooting more shots than LeBron James and AD that are role players. That shouldn't be happening. Lonnie Walker needs to ask himself if he had to take 16 shots. I mean, look, you want to give the ball to the hot hand. Like I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with a guy taking if Austin Reeves is 6 of 6 from the field, you want that guy to keep shooting the ball. As long as it's good shots and good looks. Like if he's just forcing stuff, then that's a different conversation. But as long as he's taking good shots, I don't mind who takes the most shots as long as it's within the scope of the offense, for one, which Lonnie did, and two, they're good shots, which a lot of them he was taking wide open threes. That was where he missed the most. So I don't mind it. If it's disrupting the team, it's disrupting the offense. If it's, hurting us and being a negative, then yes, I agree. But I think it just depends. But Black coming in hot with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. What happened to Thomas? What happened to Bryant tonight? Why didn't he play? So it just says coach's decision, DNP. My guess is that, he just came back from injury. They probably wanted to, give him some rest instead of having him come from a back-to-back. I know it's a hand injury, but still, you're getting smacked and banged up. He's a big, he's messed around. I also am concerned that they're going to sit Anthony Davis tomorrow on the back-to-back. I really am. But that might be why also they decided to sit Anthony Davis or Thomas Bryant, so that way they can start Thomas Bryant and then bring Davis some rest. But hopefully they don't. Hopefully Davis plays, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. But that's my guess, is that they did that because there was no specific reason. It doesn't. All that we got was just a DNP. He was available tonight, so that's just my thoughts. But again, thank you, Black. I really appreciate that. I like the starting 5, but it would be complete with Brown out and someone like Bojan Bogdanovic or AR215 is also against lesser competition. So he's a front runner like the guys we had on the past. I mean, if we could end up, I would rather have a better starting level guy. Like if we could get like a Bojan Bogdanovic or something like that. Absolutely. But I mean, we can only play the guys that we have on the team right now. And I understand the idea of bringing AR off the bench. Um, Although I do feel like he's earned the starting spot, it does make sense to have him. Brown's got a little more size, a little more length, and he's been solid. So
He's a tad bit more athletic too.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
naturally athletic. Yeah.
yeah. And AR, you give him with Russ, get another playmaker, stuff like that. I don't really mind it personally. Um, Bogdanovich isn't a good defender. Give up on that dream. We need small forwards that can play defense. Yeah, I mean, look, he's not a good defender, but that dude is shooting like the best in basketball right now. That dude's like a 50, 40, 90 guy right now, and we could really use his scoring. Defense
Yeah.
hasn't really been our problem this year. It's been the lack of scoring. I mean, look at this game. This game was a great example. We had literally like 7 minute stretch or so, or 5 minute stretch or whatever it was, where we didn't score a basket. Like from like the 4 minute mark or whatever in the third quarter to the end of the quarter, we didn't score a single point. Like that's just like we need, because we don't have any like natural scorers, right? Like everybody we have, or even just natural shooters, everyone we
Yeah.
have has to work or be set up. Like a
Outside
guy
of
like
the big
yeah,
two,
yeah,
big three, really.
but I mean, even then, like even like LeBron, he's not, he has to work for his buckets. You know what I mean? Unless he's just shooting the ball lights out, he has to, he has to penetrate, he has to attack, he uses physicality, stuff like that. AD usually has to be set up. You got to dump the ball down to him. Can't shoot, but he's good at getting to the basket stuff. Like what you get in a guy like Bogdanovich is, one, you get the floor spacing. Two, you get a guy that can shoot. You get a guy that can create, and you get a guy that you can just give the ball to, and he could just go create and get you a bucket. I mean, he's not like great, he's not Kyrie,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah.
he's good enough to get create spacing to get a shot off. So that's what it is. Good as Russ has been, I know why he stinks at times. He may accept his role, but he needs to be a star. With LeBron out, he breathed star breath, and liked it like a dope fiend. He has his days. Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, when you go, I mean, anybody, I mean, when you go from doing something every day your
Yeah.
entire life to all of a sudden, like overnight, having to just be somebody completely different, it takes time. You're going to have your moments. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have your bad days. I still credit him for, even just making the attempt to do so. I mean, there's a lot of play. I mean, look at Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was out of the league. He probably had a couple more years if he would have just
Yeah.
embraced the role like Russ. But he thought he knew better, and he ended up leaving the league. I mean, look at Carmelo Anthony. They were trying to get Carmelo to do it for so long, and he ended up, same thing. He was out of the league, and he had to like work his tail off to get back. So, yeah, it's just things like that. But Lakers must have won. I see smiles. That's right, Blecko. That's right. Got the dub. Nets had a lead in the fourth quarter, but they crushed in the fourth quarter. 40-23, no defense. It's kind of surprised me because Ben, Royce, Claxton are really good defenders. Katie is solid. Kyrie, the only weak defender. And they don't play good team defense. That's the problem. Like, they're all good individual defenders, but their defensive schemes are atrocious. And it's just that's in my thought, at least,
Yeah.
the big problem. I mean, they're just not a good basketball team. I know what it is. I mean, they're just not.
Hey, I was about to say you can boil that down to that.
Just being a bad basketball team. Yeah. Anyone see the Vikings ball out in the purple and gold yesterday? Hate Vikings. Excellent quarterback, but loves me some purple and gold. I can understand that. Yeah, hey, I have money on the Vikings yesterday, so I was able to get
Purple
that
and
W.
gold, LA.
That was nice. That was nice. It improved, but it's not great yet. The turnovers were a problem, and were probably the only reason the Spurs even had a chance. So we need to cut those down. But it was good to see him play within the offense instead of slowing it down. Agreed. He did. He did a good job. And credit where credit's due. He did. He looked good. He did a good job. I'm proud of LeBron tonight. AD didn't score until Russ got in the game and lobbed it to him. They have a really good connection. Yeah, because I mean he's developed into that playmaker. It really has. He's developed into a very
and the chemistry
solid...
between those two are great. I love it.
Yeah, I mean Russ and all the bigs, but he's always been that way. And this is something that I even said in the preseason. I was saying like Russ has always been, because people are always like, oh well, you don't have bigs like space. And I was like, Russ has never had a problem with that in the past, because
Yeah.
he played with guys like Steven Adams. You know what I mean? And why am I blanking on his last name? Nick. I'm blanking on his name. But anyway, they like they
yeah,
had
I know
a
what you're talking about.
he had he's had basically centers his whole career that can't space the floor, and he's always been I mean, he made Steven Adams a 12-point a game guy because Russ was just able to penetrate, tack the paint, and just dump it off. So Russ has 7 assists in 19 minutes and doesn't get more playing time. Lakers are trying to see if they can look good without him, but their offense will never look better than when Russ runs it. Yeah, Russ is the engine right now, and he's looking really good. Lakers are hoping that other guards can run the offense better than Russ. That's why his minutes have been diminished. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they are trying to kind of look and see like, okay, can Schroeder play that role? Can other guys play that role? But Russ is. He's just been the engine. I don't think many people watched tonight's game. Twitter wasn't active on the Lakers side. I mean, maybe. I mean, it was against the Spurs. People probably thought the Lakers were going to beat them by 30 again.
Yeah.
Notice that when Russ was sold on the bench role, Ham told him he'd still be a star, getting star touches and star minutes and finish the games, and little by little they're taking that away. Yeah, I mean, it could very well be that
but you got to think too, like Schroeder came back. There's been some variables too.
They're trying to.
I don't think it's solely about like just taking minutes away from Russ, just to take minutes away from Russ. Like Russ has proved that like he is the best sixth man for this team. But I think there's just other variables. We got LeBron back. We got there's other people that need to be in the lineup now. So I don't. Yeah,
I think Ham's just trying to see. Also, probably for Rob Pelinka. What do they have and what do they not? Like what players, like who's expendable, who's not? Like what you're gonna get with Russ. You know what Russ is gonna be able to do. You know what likely deal you're trying to find if you move off for Russ. Where like Schroeder's still an unknown. Like is Kendrick Nunn picking it up? Things like so. I think it's a combination of things. I do think there may be maybe some of it of just like they're trying to navigate and see like, hey, can somebody else step up so we can trade Russ? That could be a real thing as well. What was the point of Russ going to the bench? So Russ could be Russ if other guards are trying to run the offense and Russ is in the corner. Then they turn the ball over and I'm like, why? Yeah, I said I'm not in Ham's head. So I'm sure it's also part of just the evaluation process. They're trying to see what they're going to do. And I think that's why Rob Pelinka is pushed it to the fifth, beyond the 15th, because now he's probably looking at it as like, okay, like this gives us time to kind of evaluate where we're at. Other guys that aren't really playing, like Damian Jones, stuff like that, they become available for trade. And other guys on other teams, like even just smaller pieces, they become available too. So I think it's a combination of things. I'm subscribed to both, although I've never understood the difference, but I don't have to. If you're there, I'm there. Well, first off, Raymond, thank you so much. And secondly, the difference is that you don't get Jake on this channel. Jake's the difference. That's the difference. This channel, you get just me. And the other channel, you get Jake and me. See, so you get the twofer. But what Raymond's talking about is we have a channel together called AIS The Lakers Show. We do a live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and then post clips from that stream. Trying to grow it. Jake posts those clips, but I have a link in the description of this live stream. So go on over, subscribe to there. Also subscribe to this channel. We're on the road to 10K here, and we're trying to hit 3K over on AIS The Lakers Show. So go subscribe to that channel. Again, link in the description of this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. That 80 put back and one was actually insane. I don't think he converted, unfortunately, right? Was still insane, though. Yeah. 80's just been spectacular.
Yeah. I think he missed his free throw, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, that was crazy. But what's more crazy about that play is they didn't even call the foul on LeBron, I believe. Like what?
Yeah.
Like,
they've missed. That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
It's hard.
but come on, like LeBron, he got hit in the eye, like
Yeah, the one where he just shut clobbered
he
in
was.
the face.
Well, yeah. Then he was doing like the LeBron eye face, and he's like, all like,
Like you mother. We don't need Pat Bev. Agreed. We don't. He's experienced.
Yeah, that's confirmed, and that I'm not gonna say none. I'll leave none alone.
I think so
yeah.
too. Raymond. I think so too. I think that's probably the plan.
TV tomorrow. Yeah.
Tyler,
Hey,
I
what do you
saw
think
AD.
about playing LeBron? Sorry, what do you think about playing LeBron sitting AD tomorrow? I kind of want to see it.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I just,
yeah.
It's just my concern is that he's just playing so monstrous that and he's such a huge part of our success when we do win games that I don't That's a lot.
LeBron could get it done though.
That's a lot of production though. I mean, you're talking.
Well, yeah, we're missing
30 points a game that he has to get that, and the defense.
No, yeah, the defense, the stoppage, the rebounds, the assist. I mean, you're at least missing 20 to 30 points. And tonight we didn't even win by 20 to 30 points. We only won by.
I mean, we were up 20 at one point. We almost blew that entire lead.
Well, again, and that was in the third quarter. But no, we only won by 10 today. So I mean, I don't know. I think LeBron could get it done. I do, but I want to see it because I want to see how the team operates now. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like LeBron's going to go back into default mode. They're like, all right, slow the offense down because that's how LeBron plays best. The only time LeBron played with a really, really fast tempo was in certain moments in Miami. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but if you watch certain moments in that Miami run, the championship, they only they were able to play a faster tempo of basketball. But when LeBron,
he was also 15.
Well, yeah, but that was earlier LeBron. But now it's just he wants to slow it down. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he can play that fast.
Yeah. Braun just has to get his legs. He's old. Just will not say it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. Oh, I didn't even answer George. Tyler, I saw the 80s 8th place MVP voting. Yeah, I don't think that'll last very long. I mean, it might be right now because I mean, to be fair, he wasn't this AD in the beginning of the season. He's kind of turned it around. But if he keeps playing this way, he'll win MVP. They have to make the playoffs, though. I don't think he wins MVP if they don't make the playoffs. LeBron is.
But then he has to compete with Steph, and
I mean, there's a lot of guys having really good years this year. LeBron is no longer an elite half-court offensive player. At least he didn't ball hold as much today as he usually does. But with his seemingly evident decline, I don't see a point of making trades. I mean, LeBron still gives you enough to win. As you're saying, he's not the number one guy that you could that you can count on. He's not a guy that single-handedly could take you to a finals anymore. But he's still one of the better players in the league.
Did you ever think you would be saying that since it's this soon?
Yeah, I mean it's been 20 years and
no, it's just man, it's almost it's crazy to even hear it. When you just said it right now, I just got this weird chill. I'm like, oh, that's
the end of an era. It's coming to an end. I mean, that's why you got to appreciate these guys before they go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it comes sooner than you.
That's why I had to come around. That's why I had to really open my eyes and see what LeBron did for the game, and I was like, you know what, I appreciate this man a whole lot more than I did.
Yes, because TB deserves minutes. He's better than none. I'm not sure why Ham is afraid to go big, other than the 4-out when an offense will work. But with LeBron James in there, no offense being ran. Yeah, I love the times that we see. Thomas Bryant, AD, or AD and Gabriel, and Thomas Bryant, Gabriel. I really like that three-man just rotation, that three big rotation. I do. I really like that. Bro, I bet you were kind of happy Bev was ejected for 3 games. I was. Or suspended. Yeah, I was. I made a whole video about it. Because I made a video the other day talking about how they need to take him out of the starting lineup, and luckily Pat Bev watched that video and said, "Don't worry, Tyler, I'll do it for you." Just decided to take himself out.
He's a non-factor. Like I said, he's that He's a dream. Actually, Draymond's more productive than him, but he, he's your enforcer. But I just it's not working anymore.
Yeah. Hornets, Gordon Hayward is out indefinitely. That's huge. Yes, I agree. I saw that news. I actually made a note of it because I want to talk about it at some point. Maybe later
I
tonight or
just want to say
tomorrow.
this hurts my heart because you know how bad I wanted
Yeah,
to see that man in a Laker uniform.
I
Like
know
I'm
he
I'm
just
not saying that
can't
it would
stay
have
healthy.
happened. Yeah, I'm not saying it would have happened, but like
That poor
it just
guy
would
cannot stay healthy.
it would have been nice to see. It would have been really fun to see.
Yeah. Um, but they can't trade him now. Now PJ Washington must be in a deal. What do you think? I mean, I think it was possible to get PJ Washington regardless, but yeah, now there's no talks of Gordon Hayward being included anymore. He has a fractured shoulder, like like
Yeah.
he doesn't have like a
The,
he hurt his
yeah,
pinky or something. I mean, he's talking his shoulder.
and
So yeah, I mean the talks of Gordon Hayward involved in any kind of Hornets trade is non-existent. Um, so yeah, now
man, that's
I mean the
tough.
Hornets are in
That
just
is
a really weird
tough.
spot. Um, I don't know if I'm the Lakers, I'm calling up Detroit and I'm calling up the Hornets, and I'm like, hey, you know, let's
Three
work something
teamer,
out here. No, I
three
mean
teamer. We're
individually.
going three
And
teamer.
I mean, if you could work out some three-teamer to where you get like Bogdanovich, Washington, or maybe you could flip Washington. Like I wouldn't mind, although I really like Washington, I wouldn't mind if you could flip Washington for like more depth. I don't even know if the
Yeah,
numbers work. I'm just throwing this out there. So people are like, that won't work. You're probably right. I'm just using this as an example. But like if we could get like say Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, and PJ Washington, but send PJ Washington to Detroit because he's a young guy that Detroit might be interested in, and then like get back maybe like a Sadiq Bey, um, Boyan Bogdanovich, and an Alec Burke. Like so maybe do like Russ to the Hornets.
yeah,
Bev and Nunn to Detroit, and then we get a combination of Rozier, Oubre, say Sadiq Bey, uh, Boyan Bogdanovich, and an Alec Burke. I would absolutely love that. That might actually be the best trade. Um, but yeah, um, just a thought. Just a thought.
interesting.
Again, I'd have to actually like look at the numbers to see if you could even do that. But Raymond Hayward's the one that has the
Yeah,
fractured shoulder. PJ Washington's fine. Um, Reginald coming in hot with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Where
thank
was
you,
Thomas
sir.
Bryant tonight? Gabriel and Bryant would have been what have been better or would have been better than four guards. Yes. So he had a DNP coach's decision. My guess, and again, I don't know this for certain, but my guess is that he plays tomorrow and Anthony Davis might sit. I really think that's kind of what they were why they did that. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it would kind of make sense that they would, rest Davis on the back to back, especially with how well he's been playing. Kind of give him a break. And if you were ever going to do it, the Spurs is the team to do it. Not just that, but then
Yeah,
you have like a 2 or 3 day rest before your next game. So if you can win the game with the Spurs, you give AD, basically 4 days of rest, that kind of thing. Um, yeah, just a thought. That's probably my guess. But yeah, I really do like Gabriel and Brian out there. I think that the two of them are just making huge impacts. Bryant's been great. Bryant scored at least 8 points in every game so far that he's played. I love it. I love it. But Reginald, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate that super chat. Um, Said now things get interesting in Charlotte because we have to sign Miles Bridges. I'm watching Charlotte for real because they are stuck with contracts. You must make a video on that fact. Oh, I've made plenty of videos on Charlotte, plenty. Like I said, I do want to kind of touch on the difference now with the whole the whole Gordon Hayward thing. So I
yeah.
might touch on that tomorrow or maybe tonight at some point. Um, Yeah, we'll definitely have a bunch of things coming up. Don't worry. I appreciate you, Jerry. The bench mob should be Russ, Reeves, Christie, Winion, Bryant. Those guys play really well together. Russ definitely has a special connection with Brian Gabriel. I agree. I wouldn't mind this at all. Like I've said it before, Christie
Russ
might
Reeves,
be our
Christie,
best
yeah.
individual on-ball defender, and he's only 19 years old. That is insane to me.
I would still agree on that. Yeah,
He is so solid. He really is. He is just absolutely solid. But
that would be that would be a really fun bench to watch too.
yeah. Um, But all right, let's power through. Probably not going to be able to get through everyone's questions because we're already at an hour. Um, but let's power through some of these, and then we'll skate on out of here. Cool, cool. You're okay going a little over, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. How about Walker comes off the bench with Russ Reeves, takes a spot in the starting lineup. That way, Walker isn't taking away shot attempts from LeBron and AD. Walker's been too good. He's been our best defender.
yeah.
He's guarding the
Unfortunately,
best
we
player
have to
every
start.
night.
We don't have a
He's
choice.
averaging 16 points a game. Like I wouldn't want to touch his
Yeah,
production. Like, and I
yeah,
mean, and he's still gonna take those shots anyway, even if he doesn't start. He's
exactly.
been good. He's been worth the shots.
Well, we have to
Spurs,
start him. We just at this point we don't have really
he's
a
too
choice.
good not to start first. Spurs did well double teaming AD, but was good to see role players step up, knock down some open shots. Yeah, agreed. LeBron 9 turnovers. I know that was terrible, terrible. Um, uh, what's going on, SM? Salute. Appreciate you. Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving. Yes.
Thanksgiving.
I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We did a late night live stream yesterday. But for
Yeah.
those that weren't able to make it or weren't a part of it, I appreciate y'all. And I hope you all had wonderful times with the fam, loved ones, all of that stuff. It's an awesome thing. Again, no one player can catch and shoot. That's why LeBron can't find, and he was double teamed there. That's why 9 turnovers teammates sadly stand in a position. Some of those turnovers are just bad decisions.
Yeah.
Not all of those turnovers because guys are just standing in one place. But um, we guys do got to do a better job of hit shot. We just don't have those guys. You know?
We got
Um,
Reeves. That's it.
yeah. Outside of him, indecision. That's Westbrook's issue. Yeah, I agree. Trying to figure out on the fly what his role is, very understandable, and I agree with Tyler's assessment. Now, if he could explain Russ turnover, Russ. Hey, I mean, he's only doing like 3. He had 3 tonight. He's had 4. He has something like a 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio, which is really good. So, he's doing good. It's just again, he's got to find that balance. As soon as he finds that balance, I think we see just a different Russ. Um, I kind of wanted to get into the NFL and be a Chargers fan, but I never had the motivation to watch NFL. I love watching, I love watching football, but yeah,
Yeah.
people giving you shit for the Chargers. Hell no, they need to return to San Diego. It's really belong to take the Clippers with them, right?
Agree with you though. They really need it like this. Yeah, the LA Chargers are just weird. Like they really do need to go back to San Diego. It's been hard to watch, but hey, like just like with every team, I stick through it. You gotta stick through the tough times.
I consider Chargers a San Diego team. I'm an LA fan. I root for Lakers, Rams, Dodgers, USC. Yes, I can understand. Love the show. Well,
That's
thank
fair
you,
enough.
Black. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think TB is safe for tomorrow if AD doesn't play. I agree. Get those likes up. That is right. Don't forget to like this video. If you haven't liked this video, you'd be amazed how powerful the like button is, especially for small creators like myself. So hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm 6 away from 60-50. I'm sure there's 6 of you out there that aren't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. Also, link in the description. Go subscribe to mine and Jake's channel that we do together called The Lakers Show. Go do that. I'd appreciate that. Subscribe here. Subscribe to The Lakers Show. Let's get those subscribes up. Let's get those likes up. You
We're
guys
trying to hit
are beautiful.
3K. 3K.
We're almost to 3K on that channel. We are. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it. Starting lineup of Dennis, Lonnie, Boyan, Braun, and AD would actually be incredible. If only I would love that. I would absolutely love that. You got the perimeter defense. You got your dead eye shooter. Got Braun. You got AD. Just French or chef kiss. I was gonna say French kiss, but chef kiss.
Got all your bases covered. That would be smooth.
Yeah. I agree and commend Russ. Just calling it like I see it. I've always wanted to keep Russ. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't mind keeping Russ. Like, I really don't want to get rid of Russ just to get rid of Russ. Like, it's got to be the right deal. If they're going to trade Russ, it's got to be the right deal, the right package, all
I'm
of
gonna
that
be
stuff.
so upset if they just let him go for like just another just like mid
Peanuts.
tier guy. Yeah, exactly. Peanuts. Something that's not really gonna help us be a contender, just to like offload that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be so upset.
Just terrible. um, oh, whoops. There we go. The fact LeBron can dunk like that in his 20th season blows my mind. Can't remember players being able to do that in the 20th season. I like the
Ooh,
fact that he's
that
able
one in
to
the fourth. That one in the fourth was
the
clean.
way he's able to play
I jumped out of my
period
seat
in
on
year
that one.
20 is incredible.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but he's still gotta play better. It's still LeBron James. I know it sounds silly, like like when you think about it, you're like, man, compare him to other guys in year 20, but the fact that he's playing at such a high level is why he deserves such a high criticism. If he was playing, if he just fell off a cliff skill wise, then I'd be like, all right, he is who he is, but he's clearly who he is. Um,
Yeah.
Russ is in the same path that Dwight and Melo had to go, even a few more years in the NBA. Nothing but respect for Russ for doing that because not every star would be able to and willing to do so. Yeah, agree. Great. Um, the LeBron arguments are starting to make sense. He don't flow naturally on this team for whatever reason. He either slow the game down and break ball movement with iso ball. The problem is this team needs to play fast, and I
Yeah.
just don't think LeBron can play fast anymore.
Well,
Not
that's what I was saying. Like
not
that's
for
what I'm not
40
like.
minutes a game. You know what I mean? So that's
I
the
haven't seen
problem.
him
Like,
play fast since Miami. I
yeah,
mean, no, there was moments in Cleveland. There was moments in Cleveland, but again, like really quick basketball. How this team needs Miami. Like, yeah,
yeah.
he's not that type of player anymore.
Didn't see the game, but I could tell there was no synergy to the offense with LeBron back. But the only thing that mattered was he and AD leading the fourth quarter resurgence. A loss would have been awful. A loss would have been awful, but he actually was a lot better, in today's game. Did YouTube update their bot protection or something? I know I don't get bots on this channel like some of the other channels, which I think is funny. Which is good. It's good. I'm not complaining about it. Um, Amazing to me that so many people are now talking about how LeBron's presence stops the flow. Tell him, Tyler, that I pointed that out months ago. Also tell he needs fancy headphones like you. I got the hookup. See, they're saying he needs some fancy headphones. But Raymond, appreciate you. Also, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He really does. I'm hoping because he's still a smart enough player. He's still a talented enough player. All of that stuff. Um, they really need to. He really needs to figure it out because I think this team is talented. They just gotta kind of figure out how to put it all together, so to speak.
And they're
Uh,
still looking towards him though. Like if you look at like how they're playing, they're still like looking for him as their savior.
yeah,
And
I mean, because it's
it's
easy.
just it's
It's easy.
not
It's
that.
happened with Kobe. Happened with Jordan.
Yeah, but it's
You
just
know, when you have your superstar, you look for him to do everything. It's easy to kind of just fall back. Um,
but
if
that's
you
the
put
problem with a lot of teams though. And with this team, I feel like will be a huge issue. Like
yeah,
I just if everyone can break out that mold in their mind that like LeBron is not going to pull you out of every
be the
single
guy you need
situation.
him to be.
He's not your answer to every single play
Yeah.
anymore. Like it's just not him.
If you put a team of the best, smallest, first, the best, biggest, who is coming out on top in a full game? I mean, depends on how you. Because I mean, imagine a team of Giannis, Embiid.
Are we talking all
Uh,
time or are we talking just current in the
I
league?
think he's talking
Because
just current, but
although say all time, I'm giving that to the bigs just because there's been too many historical bigs. Even look at Magic Johnson. Yeah, he played a small position, but he was still, I consider Magic Johnson like a big. You know what I mean? So like, just because how tall he was playing the point guard position. Uh,
yeah, I think the best, biggest would probably win that.
of
Um,
today, ooh, that's a tough one.
yeah, I mean, well, it also
Yeah,
depends on what you're scaling. Like, if you're
yeah,
talking about basically everyone that's like 6'10" and higher versus everyone that's like 6'3" or lower. I mean, we got a lot of really talented, skilled bigs right now. Like, I
yeah.
mean, yeah. Yeah,
Blucka, what's your? I'm very interested. What's your skill? Like, are you doing it by height? Are you doing it by position? Like, what's your skill?
yeah. Because if you're talking a bunch of like 6'8", 6'9" guys, they would probably
Yeah.
destroy all the guards in this league. If you're talking, I mean, it just depends. I think it would depend on what you wanted to play. Uh, I'll flick his opinion, but imagine the Warriors select LaMelo Ball instead of Wiseman. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, but the last thing they needed was LaMelo Ball, like another guard. I mean, I mean, they're already tiny. I understood why they took Wiseman. It made a lot of sense, but um,
But could you imagine Lamelo though? That would be scary.
I mean,
That would be kind of
it would be nice. But who's to
yeah.
say he would be that guy? You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
who's to say like he wouldn't just be some random dude that comes off the bench
The
on the
Hornets
Lakers?
allowed him to be that because there
Yeah,
wasn't a
they didn't have any.
superstar on that. Yeah, exactly. There was a super. You don't have Steph on the team. You don't have a
Yeah,
Clay. Yeah, like
the
you
Lakers should have signed Andre Drummond and the offseason. That would have been perfect fit for Davis. They tried the Andre Drummond experiment and it didn't work. Um, yeah, real quick,
I actually don't like that one.
answer chat questions real quick.
Yeah.
We're on Austin data. Let me go make sure
All
no
right.
one's at my door real quick. And
Hey guys, currently at Washington State University for the Apple Cup tomorrow. Go Huskies. Hey, there you go, Austin. Go Huskies. That is right. Favorite college football team would have to be Boise State. All right, Anthony. So the West is average at best. The Suns only won 11 games. The Lakers are 5 games out of first place. No team is running away with the West. A Miles Turner trade would put the Laker in the top four in the West. With the way he's playing right now, you might not be wrong. Like, with the way he's playing, it might be a good look. I've always been against the Miles Turner and Buddy Hill trade, and honestly, it might not be on the table anymore. I don't think we need Turner right now. I think what we need is more depth on our team. I don't think Turner is going to really save us. Um, truthfully, it could be possible though. It could be possible. Do you think the Spurs will get that game 3 still? Depends on who's playing. Now, I think if LeBron plays 86, I think that we'll take the W. Now, if AD plays and LeBron sits, either way, but I honestly, if both of them sit, I still think we get the W. Like I don't see them losing, just because I don't know. We kind of have their number. We kind of figured them out. I think, like I said, I actually want to see them take down the Spurs without LeBron. And that's what I was saying earlier. I want to see them take down the Spurs without LeBron and without AD. I feel like the team kind of needs that to build some confidence and not be so star like heavy reliant. You know what I mean? Put Russ out there, let Russ do his thing. What do you think, Tyler? You think the Spurs will get game 3 still?
I hope not. I've said from day one, it is really hard to beat a team 3 times in a 5-game span. I mean, even in the
Yeah.
playoffs, you have like a day or two in between. Should the Lakers? Yes. Will they? I don't know, especially if AD doesn't play. If AD doesn't play, I'm a little concerned, but
Yeah.
I hope we do. Right now I'd give it like a 50-50 shot.
Okay.
Personally. Um,
That's fair. That's fair.
but Lakers need Miles Turner and need Miles Turner more than Buddy Hield. I actually think it's the opposite. Why would you want to take Anthony the way Anthony Davis is playing right now? Why would you want to take him away from the basket? Why? And then Miles Turner, as good of a shooter as he can be from 3, he's still most of his points come from the paint. He's still a perimeter guy, and he's still effective in the paint. I think we need shooting more than we need another big. Thomas Bryant has been great and in a role. You got to keep in mind, is Miles Turner going to want his touches? Where Thomas Bryant, he doesn't care. He could have 0 points or he could have 20 points. He just is happy to be a part of the game. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what we were just talking about actually with Anthony, because I just said that. Well, I think we need more depth. Like I said, I don't know if Turner is going to save us. I don't, you know what I mean. It could be possible with the way that Turner's playing right now. It could be possible, but I don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
It's
But I mean,
kind of a
there's
coin
also
toss at this point.
there's so many other things too. Like Miles Turner, he's had issues playing with other bigs in the past. What if that happens? Like it sounds nice having Miles Turner and Anthony Davis. Like you have arguably the best front court in the league. But look at
Well,
like
why not have him come off the bench though? Why do you have to start him?
because there's no way Miles Turner you're trading for Miles Turner to have him come off the bench. There's no way.
But think about how effective that would be though.
I mean, yeah, but Miles Turner isn't going to want to do it for one, and two, he's going to leave, and then you just basically traded him for nothing. Yeah, I was actually just going to say
My
that,
new
Albin.
motto: if Russ did it, you can do it. That's my new
Yeah.
motto. I'm telling you.
Albin just said laugh my ass off. They would be Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. I was literally just going to say that. Like on paper, Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns sound great. Like it sounds like a good idea. I wasn't very sold on it. I thought it was like a little like ridiculous. Again, why are you taking Karl? I know he's a great 3-point shooter, but why are you taking him away from the basket where he's the ultimate mismatch? Yet they did that. The same thing for AD. Like, why would you want to move AD away from the basket, especially the way he's playing right now? It makes zero sense. Zero sense. But Reginald coming in hot with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. It's father time. LeBron James should move to the 4, closer to the basket. 20% from 3, plus some load management. 80 as well, long season. Brian can give you both. Give them both a spell. Yeah, I like LeBron at the 4. Like he's basically been playing lately. I just think he has an easier chance to guard 4s in today's NBA than he does 3s. But
it's a double-edged sword though, because the 4s you're gonna have to bang with those 4s down low.
There's not really 4s in the league anymore that are just like most 4s are like Tobias Harris and 6'5", like guys smaller than he is.
You gotta think how many times you're gonna switch with AD when you're trying to defend down low. So like I don't know. I mean I don't know. I feel like there's some drawbacks to it too. Yeah. I like it, but
I mean I'd rather him guard. I think there's more 4s in the NBA that he can guard than 3s. And it's just I just
because of the quickness and not being able to keep up with.
Yeah, just the quickness and just the way that teams operate the 3 spot more than the 4. You got to chase them around more. It's harder to fight through those guys. Or most 4s are just kind of floor spacers, or just like mid-range guys, or just the screen setters. So LeBron's good enough to just switch. But yeah, I do. I think Bryant. I really like Wyndham Gabriel and Thomas Bryant as our bigs off the bench. I really do. I just think the two of them are fantastic, and run really well with Russ. So, yeah. But again, thank you so much, Reginald. Really appreciate that. Lonnie Walker is better than Buddy Hield. Miles Turner is who we need. Lonnie Walker and Buddy Hield do two very different things.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And we don't. Why do we need another? So, do you believe that we need another center more than we need?
Buddy Hield's a better shooter.
Hield is a better shooter, yeah. But I mean, they're both just two very vastly different players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That their play style is way different. I mean, like, and they're giving you like different things too. Well, sorry. What was your question? You said sorry.
No, I was saying center is center our biggest need, because it is not. Even just from like every standpoint you look at, center is not our biggest need. Wing depth is our biggest need right now. And
with Bryant coming back, I'm not too worried.
Miles Turner literally solves none of the holes that the Lakers have. Not one of them. Like, Miles Turner doesn't do anything other than allow us to play big. That's literally all it does. Like, he doesn't solve our wing depth. He doesn't solve our 3-point shooting. He doesn't solve our perimeter defense. We're one of the best interior defenses in the league because we have Anthony Davis. Like, we don't need to go from, number one to, okay, now we're a better number one. So I don't know. It's one of those things. Yeah, Raymond, I don't know. I don't know why you don't have sound. No, everything's coming in on my end. We're still going a little bit longer here.
Would you trade for like a Oh my goodness. JJ, like a JJ Redick, someone who can knock down the three. Like
I mean, that's
just,
basically Buddy Hield.
I guess.
I
I
mean,
guess.
like a shooter. I mean, for the right price, yeah. But I don't think one shooter is going to come and save the day. So
No,
like,
not one.
so like, B Matt. First off, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
But like he says, what is your perfect trade to set up this season? Personally, it would be one whatever gives us the most return for needs. But personally, I would look. I think our biggest needs, based on just from everything from just watching the games to like statistically speaking to like just what this team lacks, is we need scoring, like just a scorer, and wing depth, 3-point shooting, right? Those are our three things. We need 3 and D players, and we need another go-to scorer that can take pressure off LeBron and AD. I think the only deals that do that is the Hornets deal. I think could really help, especially if you get like a PJ Washington. Um,
Yeah.
I think that really helps because if you could get like a Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre isn't a lights out shooter, but what he does do is he is a 3 and D guy. He can shoot around league average, which is fine, and it gives us a sizable wing. I think that helps. And then Terry Rozier gives us a scorer, a consistent guy who's averaging 23 a game right now. I don't think he'll average 23 a game, but we don't need him to. We need him to average, around 15 to 17 a game. Plus, he's a guy who can play on the ball. He's a guy that can play off the ball. He's a guy that can do multiple things, which I think the Lakers really need. And then, if we get a PJ Washington, there's another wing player, play the 4, play the 3, play next to LeBron and AD, play, opposite of them, whatever, a guy that could go and alleviate some scoring. I think that deal helps a lot. I think that I think the Spurs deal could help with that department. But ideally, I think it's whatever deal could get us some wing depth and just some solid starting level players is what we really need. We really need some starting level talent, in my opinion. But Matt coming in hot with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. We do need wings, deep wing depth per se, but I still think AD and Turner would win the day. I don't know. I like the upside is there, of course, but you got to look at the entire picture. One, Miles Turner has been injury prone his entire career. What happens if tomorrow he gets hurt? You basically just traded for a guy that isn't a desperate need. That
he's already had, I think, one injury this season, right?
Yeah, he got injured in shoot around.
Yeah, and shoot around, yeah.
And two, Miles Turner has struggled playing next to other bigs before. He doesn't play well off of other bigs. So that's another negative. You're moving AD away from the basket. AD has not been able to shoot this year, and he's dominating down low.
So you are switching AD back to the 4 and not keeping.
You have to. Miles Turner doesn't want to play the 4, and last time he played the 4, it was atrocious.
But that's the thing. AD's doing great at the 4-5 right now. So keep him at the 5.
So why would you
put Turner at the 4? I understand he doesn't want to play it, but like you're gonna have to.
But even then you can't, because now you have both of them. Yeah, they can both stretch the floor and shoot, but Anthony Davis cannot shoot this year. He's been terrible shooting the ball. So now you have to move Miles Turner away, which completely neutralizes your size.
Yeah.
Right. Like any combination of AD, I see a lot of people putting in the chat, it's Twin Towers. But the problem is you completely neutralize that Twin Towers because you want one of them to stretch the floor, and on the defensive end, who's guarding the perimeter? Like I've said, let's say we do the Miles Turner and Buddy Hield deal right now. Our starting 5 is Walker, right? Buddy Hield, LeBron, Davis, and Miles Turner. Who on that team outside of Walker, who on that team can guard anybody on the perimeter? Anthony Davis can't. He can switch. On the pick and roll, he can switch and stay in front of guys, but he can't guard somebody on the perimeter, a smaller guy, for 30 minutes a game. Miles Turner can't guard guys on the perimeter. He's not quick enough and doesn't have
Well,
the
no,
foot
he's a
speed.
liability. Him and
Yeah,
LeBron
so
are
he
becoming a
can't guard the
liability.
perimeter.
Yeah.
LeBron now, Buddy Hield is one of the worst defenders in the league, and on top of that, LeBron James. So now you are putting so much pressure on a 38-year-old LeBron James to play defense, to play like legit elite defense. There is no way you can have that starting five. You're going to get killed. I mean, we're already getting killed on the perimeter. Yes, you'll have the best interior defense. You'll have, incredible shot blocking. You'll probably be the best shot blocking team in the league. But guess what? Teams don't need to go into the paint if you can't guard them on the perimeter. That's exactly what the problem is right now with the Timberwolves, right? You got the best shot blocker in the league guarding the paint, and teams just are killing them on the perimeter because they have nobody to guard the perimeter. Nobody. And that's the same problem. You're gonna be in the same issue as so now you can't start Buddy Hield. So now Buddy Hield's gonna have to come off the bench, and you're gonna have when you could just go get 2 or 3 wing guys and solve all your problems. My problem is if we needed, if we had to have a center, sure, right? If it was like one of those things where we really need a center, right? Sure, but we don't. It's our least significant need. It's out of all, if you made a list top to bottom of everything the Lakers need, center position is towards the bottom because Anthony Davis is averaging 35 and 15. It's one of those things. It makes no sense to go get a center.
Okay, if I may offer a little bit of okay. Couldn't we just switch up lineups though? Now, I understand the question is who are we going to bring off the bench to cover that depth wing defender position? But couldn't we just switch up lineups though? So if that's our starting five for a team that we know is going to shoot our lights out, why don't we just switch the starting five though?
The problem is who are you switching? You
see, and there lies my problem. And that's where I'm kind of stuck.
See, that's what I'm saying. You could take out because you're gonna.
There's not a single person that I would say that could be a lockdown wing defender. Not that's going to come off the bench. No,
and that's the issue. We don't have any of that. I just think center is our least need right now. Would it be nice and could it work? Sure, maybe it does. But a lot of people thought Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. And Karl Anthony Towns might be the best shooting big in the league, and that isn't working. Anthony Davis is shooting.
And Walker's not ready for all that. I will say that. Walker won't be ready for all that.
I mean, if you really want a center, I'd rather go do the Spurs deal and go get Jakob Poeltl. Because one, Jakob Poeltl likely wouldn't complain about coming off the bench in times. He's puts up basically the same. He doesn't have the shooting that Miles Turner has and the floor spacing that Miles Turner has, but he's a better low post threat. And he's not the shot blocker, but he's still a very good defensive big. And he's more creative. He's a better passer, and he's cheaper, and he plays in the Spurs mantra, which he's more unselfish. I just think, again, I don't think the Pacers deal solves anything. I think that Buddy Hield coming in, he will help shooting the 3 ball, but he's not going to single-handedly solve all of our shooting unless he's shooting 43s a game. And then Miles Turner, like I said, is our least need right now. You have Anthony Davis putting up 30 points and 15 rebounds a game at the center position. It doesn't make sense. And I see and neutral, said AD playing center will get him hurt more. He's gotten hurt more playing power forward than he ever has playing center. So again, history tells you that's not true. And he hasn't gotten hurt yet. He's gotten hurt more throughout his career playing power forward than he has center. He gets hurt if he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt regardless. That's the thing. It's just, and you need system guys. You need guys that Miles Turner's looking for a $20+ million contract. You don't think that he wants to play lights out. His production's going to go down. All of those things, you're looking at, you got to look at the whole picture, and the whole picture is we don't need Miles Turner. Um, exactly. We have bigs. We need shooting. I'm with you, Reginald. Agreed. Uh, Turner or Christian Wood. I would like Christian Wood because Christian Wood could play the four, and he would be a solid forward. That's why I wouldn't mind. That's why I wouldn't mind the Hornets deal if you get PJ Washington. PJ Washington is basically your Christian Wood. He's not as good of a defender, in my opinion, as Christian Wood
Yeah.
is, but Christian Wood sleeps a lot on the defensive end. When he's engaged, Christian Wood is actually a pretty good defender. He just falls asleep a lot. But come on, guys. Do you guys know how good Turner and AD would be? Amazing. I really don't think they'd be that good. I really think they would be very disappointing for a lot of people. I mean, like I said, maybe they work out great. Maybe they would. But again, like who are your perimeter defenders? Teams are going to smoke us. That's exactly what is happening. The reason that the Timberwolves just lost to the Hornets after being up 14 because they can't stop anybody. You know, like Miles Turner and Anthony Davis aren't going to be able to stop anybody because teams aren't going to have to go into the paint because it's like, oh, like Buddy Hield's going to guard me? Like
See, if
I
this
can probably
was
score on Buddy Hield.
if this was years earlier, this would work. And I'll tell you why. Because the league, there's every team now has at any given night, unless minus a couple teams, at any given night, you come in the gym and have the potential to like shoot your eyes out. Just because there's so many shooters, like it's dangerous not to have the perimeter defense. Just because like this is a 3-point shooting league that we're in now, and we can thank Mr. Steph Curry in large part of that. But this is just the league that we're in now. I will say what you guys are saying would work, just not in today's league in current right now. It just
If this was like 10 years ago, that'd be the best team in the league.
I would even say I wouldn't even say 5. I wouldn't even go that far and say 10. But I to your point, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but
80 and Miles Turner could take pressure off of each other and just be the best front court duo. Or they could add more pressure to each other. Because again, like Butt Kicker made an excellent point. He just said AD's more likely to get hurt chasing perimeter players around than sitting under the rim. 100%. Because that's just so much wear and tear. He's gonna have to be chasing smaller guys all game. Teams, especially in the playoffs, teams will be able to neutralize Turner and Davis. Like I would love, like if I was a coach, I would love to play Turner and Davis. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, okay, let them use the advantage of size, which is what teams are doing against Minnesota. They're saying, yes, they're gonna out rebound us every night. They're gonna be bigger than us every night, but we're gonna have to make Karl Anthony Towns guard and chase around smaller guys, and he's gonna get worn down. He's gonna be completely neutralized on the offensive end, and they're not going to be able to stop us, and we're just going to outscore them. And that is exactly what's happening. Like,
because you know what they're going to do? They're just going to bring the bigs out to the perimeter. Like,
yeah.
If you got like a smaller 5 or a smaller 4, you're just going to bring the bigs out to the perimeter, get the bigs away from the rim. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all they're going to do. They're just going to.
And if they can't slide fast, if they can't, cover that end of the court quick, it's just not going to work.
Yep. Bigs win ass Shaq. Shaq still believes it's 1999 sometimes. He still wants setters he's still upset setters aren't, dominating winning MVP every year. The Lakers should try to do the Spurs deal and maybe try to fit Hassan Whiteside just in case AD needs help on defense because Lakers picking up their game. You can tell yeah, look, I wouldn't mind like doing a deal and going and getting like a backup. I just like with Thomas, the way Thomas Bryant's playing and the consistency he's playing at, I like why go get other like backups, right? Like last thing you want to do is take Anthony Davis away from the guy is averaging 30 and 15 and is playing at an MVP level. He's playing like he might be the best player in the league right now. Why would you want to change his position when he's dominating like that? It makes no sense. It's like it makes no sense. Stick with what's working and fix the things that aren't. Why would you fix what isn't broken? I don't think it's a good idea to keep AD at the 5 for heavy minutes. He is too injury prone to be guarding physical bigs all the time. We're not in who are the physical bigs? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like we're not like there's no physical. Maybe Embiid, and Joker, but Joker isn't like he's a lot of finesse. Like
Giannis. Yeah.
it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I don't understand. I don't see making a change for something that isn't a need. Again, why would you try to fix something that isn't broken when you have five other things that need to be fixed? Spend the time, resources, energy, and money to go fix the other five things rather than fixing the one thing you don't need. The only thing that's working. You know,
Well, yeah,
um,
because you take AD's production away right now. How AD's playing, yeah,
yeah,
we're like
we
we
might be
will
worse.
the
You
worst
can make an
team in the
argument we
league.
might be
Yeah,
worse. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, Turner is a good center, but the Lakers don't need him, to be honest. But what about his health? That'd be bad for like that's the thing too, is that like, you go and get Miles Turner, he's just as injury prone as AD. He ends up you end up trading all your assets to go get Miles Turner and he gets hurt, you're screwed. You're screwed. Like it's just what it is. You're screwed. Like it just doesn't make any sense. I answered that earlier. Pat Bev in 2 seconds for Will Barton. I wouldn't mind something like that. That wouldn't be terrible if we could manage to get Will Barton. I think Richardson, McDermott, and Pirtle is better than Hield and Turner deal. And I think so too. And you get that trade exception,
Yakapurtle.
which could then go lead you into another piece or two. You get everything. You get shooting. You get 3-and-D. You get interior defense and interior scoring. And you get a guy that would be willing to play on and off, the bench if you needed him to. All of that stuff. This team just needs a scoring win, in my opinion. I agree. I'm with you, but kicker. I am with you, and salute, by the way. Everyone, keep in mind, whoever comes will be coached by Ham and Ham's system. Think about it. No offering an opinion, just asking. I agree. Lakers don't need a center. Need perimeter defense. Agree. I'm with it. They do. They got to fit. Let's see. And won't get hurt guarding centers. He will get hurt guarding power forwards because they're more athletic and constantly moving out of the paint. Exactly. AD, yeah. Oops, don't do that. Sorry, hang on. There we go. Raymond said, "Good job, Tyler, breaking it down, kicking that knowledge like a boss. Appreciate you. Thank you. And then come to think about it, we seen all these players playing amazing, but what if the Lakers did sign these players and they're not playing like how they play? Like that? Yeah, that's my point. Like as great as Buddy Hield and Miles Turner are playing right now, there's no way they're gonna play. I shouldn't say no way because you never really know, but
Yeah,
the likelihood of them playing the way that they're playing right now with the Pacers is very, very slim. Because they're not going to get the shots, they're not going to get the touches, they're not going to a lot of the stuff that they can do and operate in right now, they're not going to be able to come when the time is ready for them to all play together. But I think we're almost to the end of the chat. Let's power through these last questions and we'll get on out of here. Subscribe to the channel. 7 more. I need 7 subscribers. We lost a subscriber. How did we lose a subscriber? Somebody was upset that I said we don't need Miles Turner. That's what happened. Well, we lost a subscriber. I need you to subscribe. We got 63 people still in this chat, or 65 people at this. So 7 people at least. Don't just subscribe even if we hit that 7 people. Go subscribe to the channel. Also, link in the description. Go subscribe to mine and Jake show. We have AIS the Lakers show. We do a channel ourselves. Jake came over here. So that way we could do a little promotion, talk some Lakers, all that stuff. Subscribe to this channel. Click the link in the description. Go subscribe to that channel. And let's get through some of these. Phoenix Suns with Nash, Joe Johnson, Amari, and Sean Marion was beast. Westbrook is like Nash and Pace. Just not
Agreed. Oh, I love that team. I truly did. That team was beautiful.
If you put 2 bigs on the floor, you need an elite pull-up shooting guard. That's Minnesota issue right now. Yeah, they don't have like that elite shooter. They basically neutralized their best player in that trade. Like Ant-Man just got completely neutralized. Um, if we got Turner alone in a small deal for Nunbev and got perimeter defenders for Russ, that could be similar to 2020. Like I wouldn't mind like if we got Turner and we were still able to do like I would rather go do another like if we could do the Hornets deal, let's say, and then go do the Turner deal, I would be okay with it. Like I wouldn't be mad if we went and got Turner. I just think we need other stuff. So like if it comes down to Turner and Turner and or these guys over here that are more of a need, I'd rather go with the guys that are more of a need. You know what I mean? I'd rather go that direction than go backwards. But if we answered all of our other problems and we still had enough to go get Turner, then yeah, go get Turner. But like I just think the Lakers have so many other needs. But I understand he doesn't like playing center, but he's best at center. I do understand not wanting to change how AD is playing right now, though. Yeah, Nurkic and Valanciunas, but AD had no AD. Like they did not play Valanciunas when we played. They took Valanciunas out, right? Or did he get hurt? Something like that. If you put bigger wings around AD, they can dribble penetration. That is what made the 20 team so good. More than just two bigs, yeah. Explain it, Tyler. The bigs of old are, for the most part, the old NBA bigs are mobile, shooting threes, running the brink, a new day. Yeah, it's just not the same league anymore. Gabriel and Bryant can play next to AD if we have to have another big out there. Agree. And I actually don't mind that at all. Again, I just think that's like our smallest need. Like if Miles Turner is an add-on to something, sure. Like if we go solve all of our other problems, then yeah. AD playing amazing. I wouldn't want to move him before. Coach MCs, if we get 2 or 3 shooters, we're good. Exactly. Again, why fix something that isn't broke? It just doesn't make sense. Don't fix what ain't broken. Any chance Lakers could get Jonathan out? I would absolutely love that. I don't think so, but you never know. I mean, he's kind of an odd man out. He's been extremely unhealthy lately, but like before he got hurt, he was looking like the next like potential like real big man in this league, or like power forward in this league. Do you think the Lakers can compete with the Pacers on Monday? I don't think the Lakers can run with the Pacers. I do. I think the Lakers are going to smack the Pacers, but
it's going to be a fun game. I can't wait.
I think it's going to be a fun game too. But I will say I do think the Pacers. I think Buddy Hield and Miles Turner are gonna look really good. I think they're gonna come out balling. But Anthony Davis should dominate Miles Turner.
If that trade is still on the table and they really want to go to LA, which we already know Turner does. But yeah, they're of course like like they're gonna come out trying to like shoot the lights out.
I mean that's the good thing about this stretch
Turner's
right now.
Gonna come out here and drop another 30-point game.
Yeah, I mean in the stretch right now, the good thing about this stretch right now is like we're getting looks at all of the guys that we want to potentially trade for. So that helps. The Lakers seem to be.
Oh, him and AD are gonna go. I can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait to see them go at it either. You lost a subscriber? Oh hell no! Let me go wake up the mofo next door. I'll make a appreciate you, Raymond. It's all right. It happens. The other like a week ago, I did a live stream and I got like 10 subscribers during that stream. But like 6 of them unsubscribed like as soon as the stream ended, which I don't understand. Like, what's the point? If you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. It's fine. Nobody's forcing you to subscribe. But why would you subscribe to somebody just to unsubscribe later? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But nonetheless, it happens. Towns points per game has decreased by 3 this season. They're 10-9. Traded all their picks. Exactly. It was just a terrible decision. The Heat are interested in Westbrook if he gets bought out of trade. Yeah, I think he would be great in Miami. I hope Miles Turner doesn't have a good game against him. I kind of hope he doesn't either because if he does, then everyone's going to be like demanding, and Rob Pelinka might end up actually trading for him. So I can understand that. But watch out, Halliburton. Murtharin on Monday against the Lakers, they will be hitting 3-pointers at a high rate. Yes, they should. They should be. AD versus Turner is going to be amazing to see Monday. Oh boy, I'm excited for that game. Likewise.
Can't
But
wait. I hope AD just comes out and eats his lunch. Like just
I do too. I hope he
just destroys him. Like
I
I hope he just makes
stuns-
him look like a rookie. Just
he just stuns Miles Turner. Sit down. But anyway, we got to the end of the chat, so we're gonna skate on out of here. We appreciate all of you so very much. Seriously, again, subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. I know that there are some of you that aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Also, link in the description of this video. Go subscribe to mine and Jake's show, AIS the Laker show. Link in the description of this video. Subscribe here, subscribe there. We would really appreciate it. We appreciate you all nonetheless. And any parting words before we skate on out of here?
Can't wait. It's going to get the third W against the Spurs tomorrow. And like he said, guys, go subscribe to our other channel. Definitely subscribe here if you're not subscribed. And smash the heck out of the like button. This was fun. Thank you so much, Tyler. I enjoyed chatting with you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. And I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes. We will see you all